I have a confession to make. Even though I have an integrative nutrition health coach certification, my diet is far away from perfect. I still I eat lots of pastries and all kinds of stuff that's not really good for me. And that's why today we have a very special guest on our show, Sunita Vira. She's a gourmet raw food chef. She's a founder of Raw Food Clinic, and she's an author of a book, Raw for Life. But please don't get scared. It doesn't mean that all you have to eat is just raw food. We're going to really get into the details, and Sunita is going to answer all the questions and share the information that she's sharing on her retreats during her programs. So Sunita, so honored to have you on our show. Thank you so much. Please tell us how to be healthy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Stas. It's so nice to be with you. Yeah, I mean, it's these are pandemic times, and it's so important, to really focus on what we're putting on our body. There's so much focus out there on what to put on, but not what to put in our bodies. The sanitizers and the masks and stuff. But there's not much talk about what really to put in our bodies to really boost our immunity. And it's really what you put inside your body to boost your immunity. Eating a high plant-based diet. Now, don't get worried when you say raw food chef. I don't do exclusively raw. It's really a high percentage of plant-based is what we need right now. Eating with the seasons, eating healthy, trying not to binge eat, and eating some of those processed foods and the foods that are not so good for you. Fast food, alcohol suppresses the immune system. So really replacing it with some healthier, but it has, just because it's healthy doesn't mean it doesn't taste good. It can really taste super delicious. It's just knowing how to prepare it. So really focusing on nourishing your body well. And it's really a holistic way of nourishing your body, mind, and spirit, because we are all being isolated right now. So it's the overall well-being of the person. So in terms of what you're feeding your body, your mind, spirit, and being really connected to a supportive community that feeds you. Yeah.
Yeah, I really noticed, like while I was stressed out during the COVID times, just being trapped indoors, I was eating all kinds of stuff that was not good for me. And normally I'm pretty disciplined, I'm strict with my diet, but this time, like I've never seen so many snacks in my shelf, and I was just snacking and bloating and snacking more. It was getting out of control, but I guess somehow on a subconscious level, my body needed a little bit of dopamine, some kind of little bit of happiness, a little bit of
Mm-hmm,
pleasure.
mm-hmm.
And the fastest way to do it was through different snacks. So like you said, mind, body, and spirit, everything has to go together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's like many people use food. It's like it's just something we gravitate to. Like it's like it gives you instant gratification for soothing. We use it as soothing, but then they have repercussions, right? You don't feel so good later. You feel bloated. You don't feel so well, and of course the pandemic pounds start building. So and then people say, "Oh, what happened?" And then the biggest issue here is the immune system gets compromised, which we have to be so mindful of because while there's all this talk about the vaccines and stuff, but really what are we really doing and what can we do. And we each have a responsibility that let's do our best at home. If everybody focused on eating something healthy that really boosts the immune system every day, we would be so much better off because we have to really build up our body's defenses in terms of fighting off anything that's out there. Today is the virus, tomorrow who knows what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we really, we're connected at the perfect time because immune system has been on the surface for me because I've been getting sick over and over just with because my immune system is not able to tolerate whatever is going on, stress and so I just cold after cold and it's I've never really looked into so much into immune system because it always felt like I was okay. I never really used to get sick, and now it's the opposite. And I realize I lack some information about like how to keep my immune system. I know some of the basic stuff, but I realize it's not enough. And then I saw your emails. You did the 5-day immune booster challenge, and and I would love to find out more about it. What can we do on maybe we can start in a simple way, something that
Mhm.
people can, let's
Yes.
say, incorporate few things in their daily routine, and then maybe we can escalate it to, people who are more committed to this.
Yes. No, that's a great idea. So I can give you some simple, for all your followers and viewers, some simple few tips that they can do very simply at home. It doesn't have to be very complicated. The first thing is, because we want to boost our immunity with vitamin C. So start your day with something warm because it lines the throat, protects your throat. We are heading into winter here. It's really cold. It's snowing outside in Chicago. So warm water, or even hot water with lemon juice, and you can put a little bit of honey is also good, and some sliced ginger and a touch of cayenne pepper that boosts the metabolism.
Mhm.
So that's a great way to flood your body with some vitamin C in the morning. And that's so easy to do. Lemon water, warm lemon water in the morning. It feels nice and soothing. And the ginger is also good. Ginger is great for inflammation and for boosting immunity. And then the second thing I would say is eat with the seasons, but eat a really high plant-based diet, like whatever's in season. Of course, do incorporate some raw because that's very nutritionally very high, but a combination of raw and cooked, but very heavy into plant-based. It's really, really important because we need to get all our phytonutrients, our vitamins and enzymes from plants. They have all the building material right there. And it's very easy for the body. It's bioavailable for the body when you eat a heavy plant-based diet. So I would really say load up on, plants.
Does it count,
Then
let's say, to make it easy in the morning or throughout the day to do like a smoothie or some kind
yes,
of a shake?
yes. So start your day like after you have your warm water in the morning. And also, lemon is very alkalizing for the body. So the moment your body is slightly alkaline, no disease can thrive. You get sick when your body is more acidic. So the moment you switch it a little bit to alkaline, you're able to fight off anything out there. So, for instance, in the morning, it's very easy to just put a smoothie together. You know, more plants, more greens, the greens, and then you can add some fruit like banana, mango, or pineapple, one of those fruits to just sweeten it a bit. I always put some oils in there. I rotate between hemp seed, flax oil, coconut oil, or MCT oil. So just make yourself a nice big smoothie. I have like a quart and it keeps me going till lunchtime, because right now with Zooming and everybody's on different schedules with kids and meetings, I find, it's important to have something that keeps you going till lunch. And then lunchtime, have something warm, a very nutritious, again, salad. But you can add warm things like quinoa, or make yourself a nice pot of soup, um, with lots of vegetables. And that's miso is great. It's fermented. It's really, really good for you. I put that in, so that's very easy to do right now.
Mhm.
And coconut oil is important too. It's antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal.
And do you
So
put it in the food also, or like in a shake?
I cook in it. I cook in coconut oil, and I put coconut oil sometimes in the smoothies. I rotate the oils. Yeah.
Mhm. I'm
Mhm.
curious because, for me, I always jump into some supplements, and those seem to be like a easy, fast way to get
Mhm.
my vitamins because I don't make enough shakes or make enough salads, so I always go for
Mhm.
like the easier route of taking supplements. And I'm curious, what's your opinion about supplements? Is it actually like does it help us?
So supplements is a huge industry, and you have to really know what you're taking. So what I would say first is start with your blood work to see if you are deficient in anything. Like vitamin D is crucial for immunity too. I mean, you need to have your vitamin. A lot of people in the wintertime, their vitamin D is low. So we need your vitamin D levels, in the normal
Mhm.
range. So of course, if it's low, then you need to take a vitamin D supplement. But I have to say, there's lots of different kinds of supplements, but I have started, taking one supplement which has helped, which is in a powder form, and I've just added to my smoothies, and all my levels like vitamin D, B12, and iron has come into balance because I had to take different supplements, and supplements, especially the pills, they just don't work. They go through your system in and out.
Yeah.
So I use the powders, I put it into my smoothies, and that works. But you have to go, I would say right now, because we are living in a pandemic, I am supplementing with the powder in my shakes because, I think it's really important we get all our nutrients on any given day. We are not getting all our nutrients. Our soil is depleted and all that. So the average person is not getting it. And even though I'm eating super healthy, my B12 and vitamin D was low. So now I started the powder, just a supplement powder, which is bioavailable, into my smoothies, and it's fine now.
Nice.
So I would say definitely if you're low, do not hesitate to supplement right now, because we need everything, all our defenses up.
And you mentioned something really important about doing the blood work. I think it's, it's amazing what's happening. I'm sure it's happening all over the world, but I've been in Ukraine and Russia, and every time I go to a pharmacy, I always ask, hey, do you have vitamin C or vitamin D? No, like they're all out because people are just pounding it, zinc, vitamin C, and vitamin D. And like they don't even know if they're actually deficient in it or not. And that's kind of dangerous. If you're okay with vitamin D, but you keep pounding more and more, it's probably not so good.
It's not. That's why it's very scared to just self-medicate. You can't just take stuff. And a lot of the stuff over the counter is not even being, goes in and out of your body. You're spending all this and it's not even working for you. So, and zinc is another one. But zinc, a good source of zinc is through mushrooms. You can put them very easily in soups and it tastes delicious. Yeah.
Interesting. What about like Ayurvedic herbs or something that you can maybe put in the food, right? Because there's a lot of different herbs and spices that are very healthy for us, and we can include them into salads and while cooking.
Yeah. So I love turmeric. Turmeric, I juice it, when you get the fresh roots, or I cook with it, the turmeric powder. It's really good for inflammation and for boosting immunity. Ginger, garlic, the staples, ginger, garlic. I don't go for these crazy herbs out there too much because everybody responds differently to it. But I do include superfoods, things like goji berries. That is really high up on my list. I make smoothies with that. Like I put it in my water and I drink with it too. And it really boosts your immunity. They're very high in vitamin A and C, So, and then some other superfoods that I really love are like bee pollen, Bee pollen really helps boost your immunity. So I put that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I have some tips of how to start improving my immune system. As you were mentioning all of this, I realized, wow, there's a very little portion of it that I've been actually doing. So I'm curious to start my day tomorrow with some of the tips that you mentioned. What about detoxing? Because, it feels like some of us may have accumulated, toxins or unhealthy things in our bodies. And, we're all made out of bacteria, and there's good bacteria and there's bad bacteria. And if the balance goes, the equilibrium goes off balance, then we need to get it back into balance. So I'm curious about like cleansing and detoxing programs. And then also if maybe you could mention about the importance of probiotics and the whole gut microbiome, what's going on there.
Sure. So that was one of my points I was going to tell you. Is one of the other tips is seasonal cleansing. Now, we just finished literally yesterday a pre-holiday cleanse. I've been working with my clients. So cleansing has been a game changer for health. I've been doing it for 20 years and it's totally shifted my health. I hardly get sick because of cleansing. And that's because, over time, there is a toxic buildup, from the foods, from the stresses, the environment, the water, you name it. We're living in this world. It is a toxic world in terms of what we're exposed to. We are exposed to toxins. So it is important to get rid of that. And if you do seasonal cleansing, highly, highly recommend cleansing. It gets rid of that. So your organs are not taxed and they can function optimally. Because the moment your organs are taxed, your immune system is depressed. So, and another thing I've been recommending to my clients during the cleanses, we do body brushing. Have you heard of dry body brushing?
No.
Skin brushing. So your skin is your largest organ, and it's a brush, a natural brush you get. You can get it from the Body Shop on Amazon. And I've been body brushing now for a while, but it's basically, firstly your skin, because it's the largest organ. You start from your feet and you always brush towards the heart, long strokes against the body, circular on the base of your feet, palm of your hand, circular under your arm. Your lymph nodes are there. So you want to just really make sure that your lymph nodes, everything is stimulated. Like, when you do the body brushing, it helps with the circulation in the body and the lymphatic drainage. So it's just something it just takes a few minutes before you go into the shower, just do a dry body brushing. It really helps with the circulation and the lymphatic drainage. So I highly, highly recommend that.
Wow.
That is
there like could you substitute it with a sponge while you're in the shower, or that's a little bit different?
You could kind of, but you can have those loofahs, but the dry body is just, the skin without any water or anything. It just literally, and it gets rid of the dead cells. So, yes, you do end up having, softer skin, but the main reason is to really help with the lymphatic drainage,
Wow,
Yeah.
This is great. I'm getting one tomorrow.
And that's so easy, right? You can just do it, have the brush there and you don't have to take all these complicated, because people are going crazy and buying all these different bottles. And it's like, oh my God, like, let's start with what nature provided. It's the answer has always been there for centuries. Let's go to food, let's put in good foods, even grains, lentils, all these healing foods, which are high in vitamins. That's what we need right now. Yeah.
And regarding cleansing, is that like juice cleansing, water cleansing? Do you have some recommendations on your website of how we can properly cleanse ourselves?
So cleansing is tricky. There are lots of cleanses out there, and if it's not done properly, it can actually backfire. Now, when we cleanse, we do go completely plant-based. We go raw and we go vegan. That's the time I go completely raw and vegan, just to give your body all the nutrients. And we're eating foods. We're actually feasting. There's one day we do juicing, but I do not just recommend doing a long juice fast. Because yes, people lose weight initially, but then the moment they stop, they are so hungry, and then they're eating like crazy. All that you put on double, so what's the point? I don't believe in any fad diets and things like that. It's like, let's do something that's really workable. So it's really feasting on all these foods and flooding your body with foods to reset the metabolism. And it's really nutritious foods that we give it, superfoods and, nuts, seeds, but everything is plant-based, but in its living state. Because the moment you give your body foods that are living, your cells are regenerated, you feel more alive, your energy goes up, your immunity goes up. And we've seen huge shifts with people in terms of getting off medications and, keeping better health, losing weight naturally without trying. So we have a specific protocol. We just went through a pre-holiday cleanse just to get people end the year strong. And then we do seasonal cleanses every year. So there's information on our website if you want to join. Yeah.
Absolutely. I feel like this is the thing where, again, don't self medicate and just read a blog and then do it. It's better to have some guidance, better to understand what fits your individual needs, because everybody's very, very different, so even sometimes the juicing, if the juicing is not done properly, if it's made from vegetables that are a little bit toxic, like not organic, it can actually like become much worse. So for sure, there's things you have to have proper guidance. Your website has a lot of great resources, and I know you published a book and also an ebook that has a lot of great tips. Could you please tell us how to connect with you, how to find you?
Sure. So I'm on rawfoodcenter.com. It's spelled RE, my website. And Instagram is Raw Food Center. We have links there to our ebook, which is we created one specially during this time pandemic to help people boost their immunity. It's called Supercharge Your Immunity. So we have lots of recipes. So we really guide you on how, because a lot of people say, okay, I have to eat lots of fruits and vegetables. How do I prepare it? So we really walk you through quick and easy, simple recipes. And they are cooked and raw. They're not all raw because we want people where they are. And I'm not 100% raw. I really believe you have to do what works for your body. No, like you said, there's no one size fits all, and really help and guide you to what what that is for you.
Perfect. Sunita, I'm very curious. Usually people who commit, to this journey, and you've been doing this for quite a few decades. I'm very curious how you came to this. Was there like a transformational moment in your personal health? Like, what inspired you to commit your life to this?
Well, it was definitely a journey. I actually grew up on a tea plantation in India. So, and we ate, everything my mom grew. So it was farm to table before it was a thing. So I got used to fresh farm to table. And then I came to the US as a young woman, to go to university. And I didn't, unfortunately, learn to cook anything. My mom used to make everything from scratch, but I did not learn. And being a student and on a student budget, I just ate the standard American diet: fast food, burgers, pizzas. I'm like, oh, I don't have to prepare this. Oh, it's easily, oh, those microwavable dinners, where it's like, okay, here's the meat, here's the potatoes, here's the vegetables, just stick it in the microwave. I'm like, oh, how easy is that? So convenience, right? So I did that for 10 years, and loved it. My clothes wasn't fitting anymore. I was 10 pounds heavier. My hair was thinning. I was wearing thick eyeglasses. I don't wear eyeglasses anymore. I'm not wearing contacts. And my energy just went down, and I just had I felt like I was in a brain fog. I could not think. And I mean, just 10 years. And I was like, oh my gosh, something is off. I just don't know what it is. And then at that point, I was working, starting a family. And then my first client introduced me to, I was designing websites. I ran a web design firm. And she said, you got to come and see what I do. So I went to visit her. She had ran a wellness center, happened to be, because my interest was already health and wellness. So she said, come and see what I do. So that one trip changed my life. She had a wellness center off the coast of Seattle. And I got there with my second daughter. She was a toddler there. So, and she said, yeah, just come and see what I do, and then you can do my work. So I went there, and I saw 80-year-old men, Stas, who had more energy than me, more energy than men half their age, 80-year-old men crawling with my toddler, she was just crawling around. I was like exhausted. They were crawling around, got right back up, sprightly young men. And they had the widest eyes I'd ever seen. I was like, what's going on here? And then I realized they were incorporating a raw food lifestyle. So I said, if I could have even quarter their energy, imagine what I could do, So then I started experimenting and studying. And of course, I went back to culinary school, but really got into food, researched like anything. And the moment I did more of it, I lost weight without trying. My hair got thicker. I don't wear eyeglasses anymore. My energy went up, and our children, I started incorporating it into the family. My children hardly got sick, and I realized this really helped us. So that's when I said, I really need to share this. And that was my calling of how I could really help people, because initially I wanted to go into medical research in my early days, but I kind of got, I wasn't very excited with the pharmaceutical industry. That kind of was not exciting. So this is my way, I thought, with food, that I can help people, really use healing foods to help them better their health. Yeah.
Wow. It's amazing. This is where like you find your life purpose, when something so powerful happens to you, right? And you can actually see the results. Like, you get your energy, you get your eyesight and your clarity, and all of a sudden you realize, okay, this is my path. Like, I'm going to commit to this because it's working. And it's beautiful that you found this, and you've committed so much time and helped so many people, Sunita.
Thank you. It's been such a rewarding journey, because if it helped me, I said I have to share this with everybody, because I thought, if my family gets the benefits, anybody could. And so I worked with living foods for 20 years, just incorporating it into a lifestyle. So it's really a lifestyle. It's not really a diet, because when I got into it, I found it was very strict. It wasn't delicious. And what I've done is taken it into a lifestyle, incorporating it with your lifestyle, with cooked and what you grew up with, it's your heritage, all that kind of stuff, and what you're used to as a kid. So you have to really understand that, and then incorporate that into your lifestyle to make it really work for you, versus Beautiful. Like, okay, I've got to stick to a diet. And the moment you tell your body, I don't want to eat this. It wants that, right?
I'm very
Making it.
excited to incorporate some of what we've discussed today into my life because I've studied this, but I never really had enough discipline to actually commit, but the days that I do commit a little bit and I do my diet, I change it up a little bit, all of a sudden I have more energy, I have more clarity, and then
Mhm.
sometimes I wake up and I have breakfast and I eat some pancakes or something that's not so good for me, for it's not for everyone, but for me, I guess pancakes are not very good, especially the Russian ones with a lot of honey and all kinds of stuff. And all of a sudden I'm very sleepy and I'm not productive. I can't work. So food is, it's so valuable. So I really hope that whoever is listening to this podcast, that they will connect with you and go to your website, get the resources that you have there so people can start introducing slowly. It doesn't have to be a drastic change. Don't get
No, no
scared of that.
problem. Yes, exactly. Really understanding, and using food as medicine, not trying to medicate yourself. Just, the answer is right there in nature. Food is medicine, and we try to make it as easy as possible. Quick, easy recipes. It doesn't have to be so complicated. Because nobody's going to do it if it's so complicated. So that's what we work on. With people, is to really make it simple, easy, fun, and delicious, so then it's like, oh, I'd rather eat this, which is more delicious than the not so good things, that's the whole idea.
Awesome. Sunita, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your expertise and what you've been committing so much time to.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.